So did the video of the DUPLO DOCUCUTTER 490p. We're going to do a short video going over all the buttons and features of the system, of this cutter, excuse me. First thing we're going to do is we turn it on. It's your power switch. You're going to turn it to the on position. Wait till all the beeps and buzzers have gone off. Takes about 5 seconds. Engage the starter. What the starter does is it sends a signal for the start windings and everything to turn on and the whole power system to turn on. Next thing we're going to look at is the blade lock. I'm going to turn the blade lock on. I'm going to lower down the blade. This would lock the blade down. Now you would be able to work on the blade and do anything else. Before you would work on the blade or do anything to the blade area, turn the power off. Even if you're not on the sharp side, this thing would come back up on you with your hands in there, it would do some serious damage. The only person who needs to be working on blades who are properly trained personnel. No operator needs to be touching this area. This is what this item does. Then we'll go back to the switch. I'm going to turn it off. You'll see the blade come back up. The next one beside that is your depth gauge. It says a little over a full millimeter of distance of how low the blade will go. If you have a cut stick starts to wear out a little bit and you'll have another one right away, you can adjust it a little bit, finish what you're doing, and get another cut stick. When a cut stick's worn out, a cut stick's worn out. This isn't going to save it. This might get you through a few cuts, but that's it. The next thing over here is the foot pedal. I step down. The clamp comes down. That'll help me in determining exactly where that's going to cut at. If I needed to cut perfectly and I didn't know the exact size, I could use this to make sure I was exactly where I needed to be. The next thing on the bottom here is going to be the hydraulic pressure setting. Unless you're a technician or you know what you're doing, you do not need to be adjusting this. This is the knob that would do so, as well as the gauge. Next thing up is going to be your two cutting triggers. You have to push both of these at the same time. If you were to push one and try to push the other, it will not help you. Same thing on the opposite side. But if you're pretty close to one another, like a millisecond off, it will still let you cut. Above that, we're going to look at the lasers. Anytime these lasers are blocked, I cannot cut. No matter what I do, I cannot cut. If you look here, you'll see the counting dial. It's how far you are from the back laser to the front laser. And all the way down. As long as these lasers are engaged, this will not cut. These lasers stop working. This will not cut. You will have to have it repaired. Next thing up, we're going to look at the programs. We're going to start with program 1. If I want to do program 1, I can simply do 1 and I go to 1. If I want to do program 2, 3, 3. So on and so on all the way up to program 9. Each of these have 8 cut settings in each one of the programs. So if I wanted to program 1, I could scroll through here using the next key to tell me what the next ones are. Now if I want to reset them, I can go program 1 and I can set this for 18 inches. Oh, let's do 17. Then I can go to the next one. I can set this one for 15. Next one, I can set for 16. Next one, I can set for 14. 12 and a half on the next one. It doesn't matter how you do it, it's however you're going to set up your cuts. And I can continue all the way through to my 8th program, which would be, say, I'll set my 8th one at 8 inches. Now I've set them all. Now I go to auto. Program 1. I turn my auto off. I go to program 1. I'll set to auto. Now what's going to happen, every time I make a cut, blade's automatically going to adjust to the next cut in the program. It'll do this all the way through my 8 cuts in program 1. And it'll go all the way to the first one again. As you can see, it's finished all 8 programs. It's now scrolled back up to cut 1 on program 1. And then we'll keep doing this over and over again until I turn auto off. To turn auto off is very simple. Just push auto. If I want to go to a certain program or a certain cut, wherever my flash is setting, that's where it'll go to. So if I push run right now, it'll go to 15. If I want to go just to a 12.5, push run, it'll do run. I can overwrite these at any time like I just did. Just by putting the numbers in, I can overwrite them. Wherever I want it to go, it'll go. The next keys you're going to look at are going to be your fast forward. Because like it says, it comes forwards fast. Slow reversed, goes backwards. Or slow forwards comes forward slow, I'm sorry. You have fast reverse. You have slow reverse. I have a reset key. If I push the reset, just resets all the way back to the original set. That's all it does. That's pretty much all the keys, all the numbers are the numbers. There's nothing else here that you'll be using. Of course, read your manual for anything else you want to know. My next one down here is my handle. You cannot turn this while the power is on. You have to turn the power off. Wait for the entire system to power down. Takes a good 10 to 15 seconds. Sometimes a little sooner, but as soon as it does, you can start adjusting this by hand. For the most part, you're not going to use this. This is for technicians and anybody else who's working on the cutter to go ahead and make sure everything's working right, or to reset it back to where it's supposed to be. But that is the handle there. This will conclude the digital video of the DOCUCUTTER 490p that we have for sale. This is LCE Graphics. You can reach us at 1-800-634-2176. Check us out on the web at lcegraphics.com. And this will conclude our digital video. Any questions, please feel free to call. Thank you.